So, today we're talking about Re2, a new method designed to boost reasoning in large language models by rereading questions. It's quite different from traditional methods like chain of thought, which focus more on the output side of things. Nova, could you tell us more about what problem Re2 is trying to solve?
Absolutely, Mira. The original problem that Re2 addresses is enhancing the reasoning capabilities of off-the-shelf large language models, or LLMs. Traditional methods often focus on how the model generates its output, but Re2 shifts the focus to how the model processes the input by rereading questions. This approach allows for a kind of bidirectional encoding even in unidirectional models, which is pretty innovative.
That's interesting. How does Re2 manage to enable bidirectional attention in these models?
Oh, great question. Well, Re2 facilitates bidirectional encoding by using the first pass through the input to gather global information, which then informs the second pass. This means that even though the model is technically unidirectional, it can still process information in a way that's similar to bidirectional models. It's like giving the model a chance to look at the big picture before diving into the details.
Wow, that's a clever way to enhance understanding. So, what were the results when they tested this method?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. The experiments showed that Re2 consistently improves reasoning performance across a wide range of benchmarks. They tested it on 14 datasets and conducted 1-1-2 experiments, and the results were generally positive. There were a few exceptions, particularly with vanilla ChatGPT, but overall, Re2 proved to be effective and adaptable.
That's really promising. It sounds like Re2 has a lot of potential. Let's dive into the methodology. How exactly does Re2 work, and what makes it different from other strategies like chain of thought?
Sure thing, Mira. The methodology behind Re2 involves leveraging LLMs with a strategy inspired by human rereading habits. Unlike chain of thought, which breaks down tasks into steps during output generation, Re2 focuses on the input phase. By rereading the question, it reallocates computational resources to better understand the input, facilitating a bidirectional comprehension. This makes it compatible with various prompting strategies and enhances reasoning without losing generality.
Got it. And how does Re2 integrate with existing models and algorithms?
Right, so Re2's simplicity is one of its strengths. It integrates seamlessly with different LLMs and algorithms, including those used in few-shot settings. By focusing on input understanding rather than just output, it enhances compatibility and reasoning abilities. Experiments have shown that it works well with various thought-eliciting prompting strategies, making it a versatile tool.
Now let's talk about the experiments. What benchmarks did they use to evaluate Re2, and what were the key findings?
Well, they evaluated Re2 across a variety of reasoning benchmarks, including arithmetic, common sense, and symbolic reasoning tasks. For arithmetic, they used datasets like GSM-8K and SVAMP. For common sense, CSQA and strategy QA, and for symbolic reasoning, tasks like date understanding and coin flip. The key finding was that Re2 consistently improved performance across these tasks, especially with models like DaVinci 003 and ChatGPT. However, there were some exceptions due to prior exposure to certain datasets during instruction fine-tuning.
Interesting. How does Re2 perform with different question complexities and prompting strategies?
Oh, good point. Re2 shows improved reasoning capabilities over complex questions, increasing n-gram recall and enhancing focus on input questions. It's also compatible with various thought-eliciting strategies beyond COT, like plan and solve and program-aided language models. By simply repeating the question, it enhances performance similarly to zero-shot settings when applied to exemplars.
That's noteworthy. It seems like Re2 is quite flexible and effective. And what about its impact on non-IFT models and self-consistency methods?
Yeah, Re2 actually improves performance on non-IFT pre-trained models like Llama 2, which indicates its general applicability. It also complements self-consistency methods by aggregating multiple answers, further enhancing performance. This versatility makes it a valuable addition to the toolkit for improving LLM reasoning.
That's really comprehensive. Re2 seems to cover a lot of ground.
Mira, what's your overall take on the article? Any key points that stood out to you?
Well, Nova, I think the most striking aspect is how Re2 shifts the focus from output to input processing, which is quite innovative. Its adaptability across different models and tasks is impressive, and the consistent improvements in reasoning performance are noteworthy.